Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered! Today it's going to be a match between Flash and Snow with 1 million people watching for some reason here on Polypoid. And we're doing the old school trick for the observers. There are only... Hang on a second. Why are we doing this? There are 4 observer slots today in 2020. Let's see. Oh, hang on. There are a lot of people watching here. So let's see. We have Snow, we have Flash, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah, there we go. 6 people watching. So that's why they pulled out the floating command center trick. And this SCV won the Battle Royale. And this one as well. They should fight each other to the death, right? Right. Okay, so bottom right-hand corner here actually playing is... Let's see here. What color is this? The teal Protoss player. It's hard to tell sometimes on the Nexus when it's all blue with a remastered skin, but it's Snow. And in the top left, it is a purple Terran player, Flash, with his Africa tag here. It is time for a Flash game. Yes, this is part of a replay pack that RJB was able to get access to. He went through like 4,000 replays and found the best ones and sent them to me because he's the best, and RJB is fantastic. And you should check out his YouTube channel. Just search RJB and StarCraft, and you'll find him. He puts up fastest map stuff all the times. Great dude. Oh, I thought we were done fighting. Nope, this is the Ultimate Champion. I apologize. Ultimate Champion, they should fight. Anyway, putting a barracks on the low ground here is the Flash in this TVP. Is Snow capable of taking down Flash in a TVP? We've seen this too many times, y'all. Flash gets up 100 million tanks through dark magic. The Protoss is like, I can't engage into 5 million tanks. What will I ever do? And they maybe try to go into carriers, and sometimes that works. We've actually seen Flash get beat because somebody went into carriers and beat him, and Flash had Goliaths and everything, and he just got straight up beat with it. So that's a possibility. Anywho, this is so distractingly huge. I kind of got rid of it, but at the same time, I also like seeing what the worker count is and stuff. You know what? We'll come back to it from time to time. That might mean I forget that it exists, and it never comes back at all, but I doubt that. We'll look at it maybe once or twice for the rest of the cast. Anyway, happy Saturday, everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you happen to be. Hit that like button if you're excited for Flash. Hit that like button if you're excited for Snow. Snow is a fantastic Protoss player. Maybe the best Protoss player on Earth right now, considering the fact that Bisu's a little bit older, not quite winning the stuff he used to. Snow's racking up Premier Championships and whatnot, and he could be the guy. So scouting around at the speed of sound is SCV. Doesn't find the Protoss there. That's cool. And then says, oh, look, it's my buddy. I've been looking for somebody of a Protoss persuasion in this game, and I found him. Anywho, Polypoid. It kind of looks like Fighting Spirit if you look at it initially, but it's definitely not. Just based on where these expansions are. But yeah, it feels very Fighting Spirit-esque, but it's definitely a little more complicated than that. SCV wants to come in and scout what is happening, and is going to get a decent scout, actually. Did you think you killed that? Oh, poor Dragoon. Alright. Oh, nice snipe. Dang. Snow, what a snipe with that probe. That was hot. Okay, very cool stuff. Anyway, expansion coming up. Flash into factory production, because what else do you do against a Protoss player? You can kind of go bio, I guess. We've seen it done in team situations more than 1v1, but if you can kill the Protoss player early, before they get things out like a lot of Storm and Reavers and stuff, then your bio is going to do just fine. But if you're planning on setting up for more of a longer macro-style game, which this map does lend itself to with its easy expansion, 4-player setup, 4 spawn locations, and the fact that it's huge, not a very good map to finish in the first 5 minutes, you know what I mean? So Cybercore on the way. We're going to see some of that there Dragoon pressure on the front door. We're going to see additional factories here too, and it just really comes down to the Protoss. What does Snow want to do? He knows what Flash is going to do. I don't think Flash is going to catch anybody by surprise in this game, although he could. We could see something crazy like a battlecruiser rush, which would be hilarious because Dragoons are so good against battlecruisers, but yeah, that's not happening. I don't know, we could see Mass Goliath play. Dragoons here to pressure a little bit. There's another one here too, but we're not like going, you know, 2-3 gate Mass Dragoon, try to kill Flash fast stuff here. That's not at all what the strategy is. But it does force, you know, a couple SCVs off the line. Nothing too crazy. Engineering Bay finishing up. probably for a turret or two, and there's the mainer transfer down to the natural base. So worker count check is 25 to 31 in favor of Flash. Robotics facility coming on in. Tank production has begun from Flash. And so far, so good. I really don't think anyone's messed up on anything yet. Engineering bay just used for scouting. Because you could still build turrets with it. Well, it exists. It's the prerequisite to build turrets. If it's flying or not, it doesn't matter. Tank shows up. Tank really doesn't want to get jumped on here, so it's not going to move out. But it's just trying to find a sweet angle where it can get shots off on the Dragoons without them feeling comfortable enough to get on top of it. Because that is a full bunker of Marines. You do want to do this, Terran players. 1 or 2 Marines is not going to do it. 4 Marines, great. Spider Mines, actually double, I love this, double machine shop stuff out of Flash. Going for Spider Mines and for Vulture Speed is super fantastic. Observer should be out. Observatory's done. Do we see an Observer anywhere? I don't think we do. Third base, oh, okay. He canceled that pylon at the very last second. It must have been in the way of that Nexus. He just misplaced it, so that's a mistake. You don't want to have too many of those if you're going up against Flash, I can tell you that much. 43 to 35 workers, APM around 250 for Snow, about 350 or so for Flash. I really was hoping to find a game where Flash is playing Zerg or Protoss or something, but nope. He's playing Terran here, which is fine. I mean, Terran Flash is always a sight and a joy to behold. But yeah, this is a 2019 or a 2020 replay. We're going to put 2020 on it because this is a recent replay pack that from games from the recent year or so that RGB picked up. So if you're looking for recent Flash stuff, this is not a bad place to go here on this channel. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I do post 5 Brood War games every single week from players like Snow and from Flash and Beast and Bisu and upcoming players like Sack and Soma, and it's just a good place to be here for the future. That's what I'm trying to say. This here Reaver shuttle attempt gets accidentally scouted by these vultures. They're pulling home for defense. The tank count is already getting a little bit scary. And as we've talked about from time to time, if you're going to beat Flash, who's playing Terran, you got to out-expand him, and you got to keep that tank count down over time. You can't let him just sit back and get up to 30 tanks in the first 15 minutes and call it a day. It's not a good thing for you. So I don't see a third base timing here from Snow at all. I don't see any indication from him that he's going to... Okay, I lied. He's got a third base. But I don't see any attempts from him to try to whittle down these siege tanks, right? There's just nothing... There's nothing here indicating that's the case. Stargate coming up here. Probably going to go for them Arbiters. If you happen to be the Protoss, and you do. So yeah, Shuttle's like, maybe I should be used in base defense. Suddenly there's a lot of tanks coming to murder me, and yeah, that's probably a good idea. So again, this is the third base. It's just I don't really consider it a super good third base because there's no gas here. And you do want a lot of gas as Protoss, especially if you're going for that Arbiter tech. And especially if you're going for Reavers. Reavers are 100 gas. I got that corrected actually the other day. I erroneously remember them being 200 gas, but they are 100 gas. And that's a lot of gas, man. Got a big hit off on a bunch of those vultures. Did not one-shot them, but did hit them pretty heavily. And again, there aren't any Goliaths here yet. I imagine we'll get some eventually, but right now, the siege is up. Nothing in range of the Nexus, nothing that Snow needs to freak out about quite yet here. APM's starting to spike here a little bit for Snow. Reaver gets a hit off. Did it go down? Ah, no, it's alive. Ah, this Reaver control is kind of nuts. Out of Snow, I'm loving it. Takes a couple tanks down. There's still tanks in range of the base, but nothing directly in range of the Nexus anymore. Additional tanks are arriving because Flash's macro is godlike and terrifying. He's taking a third base behind it too, because why not? At this stage of the game. Here comes the Thnicka Man. Name that. Pop culture reference. Alright, so there's no anti-air here at all. We're dropping tanks on, trying to get some of that friendly fire zealot bomb damage there. Did we? That shuttle's useless. Tank. Big time hit. Softens up a lot of these tanks. Another big time hit here. And another one. Dude, this Reaver, though. Whoa! Snow putting in work with this Reaver. That said, guess who's here? Two more Reaver, or two more tanks. No! No, Hero Reaver died. Guess who's back? More Reavers, more heroes. Because Snow's been macroing really well, too. He's making Dragoons. He's making Reavers. He's getting Zealot legs. And he holds. He holds the third base. I think all the drones, or all the probes, had to transfer out of there because it was really dangerous. But they're not dead. They're coming back on into the third base. The problem is that Flash does a third base that he's happily mining from right now, and I don't see a fourth base from Snow. And this time I'm serious. There's not actually a fourth base. Shuttle speed is done. A couple Zealots and a Reaver in this drop attempt. Quite possibly. Ugh. Forget I can't do that in Brood War. In StarCraft 2, you can click the mouse button, hold it down, and kind of scroll around. You can here, it's just incredibly fast. I'm like barely moving my hand, and it's jumpy. It's all smooth in StarCraft 2, but anyway, you're not here to hear about that. No upgrades here for the Dragoons. +1 attack is done for the mech for Flash. I'm kind of trying to set up for a fourth base down here, but again, it's late. We're still 3-basing it. Flash is 3-basing it with 3 refineries, mind you. He's got the gas that he needs to get a huge tank count. The good news is that Snow did a good job whittling down the tank count of Flash, right? Flash came in and tried to kill him. He defended, wiped out a whole bunch of tanks. And it worked out quite nicely. Ooh. That shuttle trying to land. Reaver gets a big time hit there. A couple SCVs going down. Another big time hit. Ah, it's a huge one. Oh! Dude, Reaver getting some work done there. Still alive. Suddenly Flash is down to 60 workers. This Reaver drop stuff is insane out of Snow. I'm incredibly impressed by this. There's a Corsair here, too, to deal with the Wraith, but the Wraith is too good. The anti-air is too good there, and now the shuttle's going to die. I need to unload the Wraith now, buddy. Or the shuttle. Unload the shuttle. Big time. Just Dragoons marching in right now. Ah, shuttle died. Snow's attention was elsewhere. Trying to run by those tanks, but just too much stuff up here, but allowed him to get the fourth base up. So the fourth base is going to come in quite nicely here. The Dragoons still don't have any attack upgrades, but we're working on +1 attack. That's nice. Storm is coming in at the same time. So I like what Snow is doing here. He's trying to keep that tank count low. He's killing SCVs. That tank is dead. Exactly. You sacrifice drones, or you sacrifice Dragoons, rather, in order to kill these tanks. I mean, an attempted expand there in the middle of a battle by Flash. A little bit careless. And I'm not sure if that was canceled or if it was killed. It was very close to being one or the other. So right now, we're looking at 137 to 124 total supply. Snow has a lead, which you need to have if you're going to win this game. It doesn't mean he's favored to win this thing at all. I love the Corsair escort for this shuttle, though. Kind of incredible. So remember when I was... Oh, Fleet Beacon. Maybe carriers. Remember when I was like, oh, yes, Arbiters, obviously. No. Not what it was at all here. Yeah, pull the boys. Pull the SCVs. Get them out of there. We're back. With more Reaver shenanigaroonies here. Zealot in the mix, too, helping to soften up some of these targets. That's a harmless explode. That was a big-time hit, though. And, man, that Wraith, again, wins the battle with the Corsair. It must have been repaired at some point. Shuttle, I mean, might as well, at this point, go after some of these missile turrets. Or SCVs, sure, why not? Man, Vulture's going down. This has been really cost-efficient play with these shuttles and the Reavers, for sure. Dude, we're getting Disruption Web. That's what the Fleet Beacon is for? I thought for sure we were going to see an attempt here of carriers. No, not at all. We're just getting Disruption Web for the Corsairs that we have, I think, 2 of them maybe. I love the constant pressure on Flash. I really do. If you sit back and let him macro up, he will likely destroy you. So the fact that this is what we're seeing, this is so great. This is so, so good. Out of Snow. I'm enjoying it immensely. Look at this. Charon boosters on the way. He's expecting some kind of a carrier transition. He's making 5 Goliaths at a time. That's not what it is. I think he scanned the fleet beacon and was like, oh no. Not oh no, but just, you know, that's what it is. We're preparing for it. It's 188 to 154 supply. I think Snow is starting to creep ahead in total overall everything right now with his 4 bases. Flash tried to get a 4th base, really hasn't tried to get one since that first attempt failed. Somehow that one Vulture raided like an entire Protoss army back to try to deal with it. I don't know how. So, he's going to disruption web these missile turrets. Like, I don't even... I haven't seen anybody really even try this. I guess we have seen a little bit of it in ZVP recently on the channel, especially on Outsider, which is a crazy map and warrants that kind of weird strategy. But to see it here against 2 elite players in a TVP, we've seen the disruption web attempted. Okay, so this is where disruption web is up. The tanks are moving. And they just kind of unsiege and get out of the disruption web, and then suddenly it's not as good, but high ground advantage now to the Dragoons. They got the +1 attack. The tanks are on +2/+1, but the 4th base gets denied again. Flash is forced to pull out. Looks like he may be able to come back in here shortly, depending on how effectively this is working here. Another base coming up from Snow here, too. Loving the storm on the tanks. We see it sometimes from the higher level Protoss as they storm the tanks and the Goliaths especially. The 4th base does get solidified there. There are a million spider mines coming up by this attempt at a 5th base for Snow, which, I mean, they can't do anything against the probe or these buildings, but still, it feels like you're surrounded a bit. So after that battle, 181 to 151 total supply, 70 to 73 workers. Flash has the lead economically. He's got enough SCVs to instantly saturate this 4th base, which again is minerals only, but again, it's a lot of vultures. He needs to keep making vultures here for this ground setup. EMP being researched here too. We're kind of 2 ships passing in the night right now. Zealots coming up, Dragoons coming up. Not enough defense at the 4th base, but guess who showed up at the 5th base of Snow? A million vultures, and they're going to take down this Nexus. It's going to take them some time, but they should be able to get it before there was a response here from Snow. High Templar sniped down. Base killed again. Snow's done such a good job denying this 4th base from Flash. But yeah, Nexus down. Turns out +2 vultures in these numbers can take down buildings pretty fast. However, right side base taken. Snow has a contingency plan here. Flash trying to reland his 4th base again, but he's just been so consistently denied. He hasn't really had it for any length of time at all here today. Dragoons with additional attack upgrades would be good. Vultures just kind of ran on into this 4th base and are target firing the probes, and the cannons are trying to kill them, but they're not fast enough. Wow, that's a lot of probes down, friends. That is 39 probes remaining for Snow. All the vultures died. They were YOLO vultures. They can't be happy about that at all. I don't know about getting up this ramp anymore. I mean, there's turret, spider mines, vultures, tanks. Looking at +3 attack on these tanks all of a sudden. It's even supply count. There's that disruption web again. Storm at the same time. That +2 attack finished up, but the +3 is done for the mech. I don't know. Getting up this ramp seems like a really difficult possibility. But you know what? It's kind of working, but the reinforcing units coming in from Flash, that is what you can always count on. If you're playing Flash, he's going to have another army up his sleeve ready to come in and murder you. And it's 126 to 114 total supply. Snow is down now, about 10 supply. This base has been wrecked. This base, I guess the probes have been transferred over. This base is not really well saturated, so not participating in the necessary income that Snow needs right now. Left side base coming in. I don't even know what was down there. Maybe like an Ursidon or something. Storm! Oh! Look at him hiding there. If there was one more storm, all those SCVs would be dead. Dude, they are stacked up, and they are injured, but somehow Flash holds there in a very, very, very tight situation. That was scary. That could have been a lot of dead SCVs. 67 for Flash, 50 for Snow. Flash expanding like a madman right now. Spider mines all over the place. The bane of Protoss existence for sure. .161 and 144 supply in favor of Flash. 350 APM, 270 has been pretty consistent throughout this game. Flash with a higher APM, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to win. Yeah, Flash managed to secure his 4th base and his 5th base here, which is a huge deal. He's on even base count with the Protoss at the moment. And his sources of income are fresher when it comes down to it. +3 attack on the way here for the Protoss, but has been done for some time for Flash. He's got the Science Vessels. He's got the EMP, which, you know, just removing shields at this point. There's not a lot of spellcasting going on, I guess, except for the Corsairs and their Disruption Web. I don't know that engaging in here is exactly what you want to be doing. But more Disruption Web coming up. It's just not, I don't know. Is it not enough? Yeah, that right side doesn't go well. The bottom side does not go well. That High Templar gets sniped off by the +3 Vultures. And it's 169 to 120 supply. Every one of these engagements is ending up with the Flash being higher in that overall supply number. And that is just got to be demoralizing as all get out. Good game. Snow taps out. Flash is your winner here in 21 minutes and 54 seconds. Yeah, end of the game. 167 to maybe 120, 110 supply. It's an uphill battle for sure. Not really able to expand anywhere else. This base gets destroyed. There's spider mines covering this area. There's vultures covering this top right. Anywhere he needs to go is going to be very difficult to pull off. And there we go. I get questions all the time in the comments. Why didn't Protoss go Disruption Web against this Terran player? And it's like, well, this is why. Because it doesn't... Because it doesn't work is the problem here. I've never seen it work. We've seen Disruption Web attempted against Flash a few times now, maybe 3 or 4 times, and it's never turned into a win. Ugh, amazing. Amazing stuff. Good attempt. I always like to see Disruption Web in games. We don't see it enough, to be honest with you. But it was a good attempt there. The Storm was really nice as well. When he kept denying this 4th base, I felt like Snow had a pretty good position to try to make it happen here. But the tanks had the good upgrades. He kept replacing them. His macro was just too good all over the place, and then just had some really good battles that came in his favor 3 or 4 times. And that happens enough. That's going to be a GG. So end of the day here, 157,000 points for Flash, 142,000 points for Snow. Ended up outproducing the Protoss, which is really no surprise. Killing about the same number, but again, when you have enough left over, that's when you're going to win the game. Structures raised, fairly even on both counts, but entire Nexus went down for Snow, and no command centers died in that game. Unless you want to count the one that was under construction and got killed or canceled, which I guess you could. And then resources at the end of the day, Flash, more gas mined, fewer minerals mined, and more spent by Snow, but more cost efficient were the siege tanks and the spider mines and the vultures. Yes? Yes. Flash still making it look easy, right? Versus Protoss. When every Terran player on Earth knows how hard it is to win against Protoss. It's a difficult thing, unless you're Flash, in which case you just make it look fantastic. Hoorah. All right, well, that is going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.